What about that scab on my lip? Is it still there?
Yeah, maybe that'll be the title of the episode.
Is it really obvious?
Maybe, no. I mean, yes, it is actually. It's really obvious, but it's okay. Because it's not perfect, but whatever.
Well, I want you to tell me when I have stuff on my face, you know?
Yeah.
Should I put lipstick on?
No.
All right.
Unless you want to put lipstick on.
There's some.
Maybe I think it looks fine.
All right.
Is it going to bother you?
If I see it and I can see it on the thing, probably. But it's okay.
Where's your lipstick?
It's just in the cabinet with the dog food. Because, you know, me and chaos.
I mean, that's a logical place to put it.
With the dog food?
Yeah.
Why?
I could not.
I put it in there while we were filming. Oops. Oop. Asher wants to be a co-host this episode. You're on him.
He's okay. Okay. Oh, he's a good boy. Are my feet gonna be in the shot?
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to hide mine. Do you want a blanket?
Yeah, throw me a blanket.
I don't know if I can throw it to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm like not in pain like exactly in this position, so I kind of want to stay in it.
Come on.
Oh, right by the neck.
There we go.
Welcome to our snuggle episode. You can't see Blythe, but she's just right there snuggling, really sweet and cute on her paw. It's adorable.
Yeah. So the name of this episode is
The snuggle episode.
Oh, are we calling it the snuggle episode?
We're all snuggling.
I thought we were gonna go with it's not perfect, but whatever.
Okay, it's not perfect, but whatever. That's like the theme of life.
All right, baby. So why are we wearing these jumpsuits?
They're really comfortable.
Where do we get them?
We officially have Squid Game jumpsuits.
Yeah.
And it's exciting because before even I was ever on Love is Blind with one of my friends, I watched the show. She would come to my place or I would go to her place and one of us would cook dinner and we would watch Squid Games. And it's just like so cool that like I'm in a Squid Game outfit now provided by Netflix and there's the challenge, which is like, it's been amazing to watch. So we're just honoring our passion and love for the challenge and for Squid Games just in general. It's such an interesting concept.
Yes, we did a little challenge with Brett and Tiff and Lydia and Milton.
Yeah, and Alexa and Brennan. How cute are everyone's names? I feel like everyone's name is like really match, you know? And like you're like Zack, which is kind of like, it's a name that's like not super, super unique, but it's very like, it's a cool name. And Bliss is like, you know, I just feel like it pairs well. Zack and Bliss and like Brett and Tiff. Brennan and Alexa. It just sounds good together.
You know,
and Lydia and Milton. It just like, I feel like everyone's names match. Is that odd for me to say?
No.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I see it.
People are like, how do you spell Bliss? And like, or they're like, what? Because I say Bliss and people are like, Liz? Like every time I'm like, no, Bliss, because people can't. They're like, there's no way that she said Bliss. So it's like they can put it down lower, yeah.
Oh yeah,
no, it just
too low.
Kind of like too much pressure on my shoulder.
Too low.
Too much pressure on my side and that pain.
People I'll say Zack, and they're like, Zack?
Zack.
I'm like, whose name's Zack?
Are you serious?
So actually, funny story.
I thought you were gonna say Jack.
Funny story. My grandpa John, his parents, who were from Holland, would send me these Dutch chocolates, and they don't have a Z.
In their letter, in their alphabet?
Yeah, in their native language. And so I would always get an S, a chocolate S.
That's cute.
Because there was no chocolate Z.
Backwards, right?
Yeah. Asher, stop licking my hand. Look at this.
He loves his dad.
Okay, stop.
He's giving you a bath.
Okay, but it's excessive at this point.
Asher, that's enough, bunny.
Asher. I'm trying to keep my feet out of the shot. My gross feet. No one likes feet, you know. It creates strong reactions.
It does, strong reactions. Like you either like love feet or you like hate feet. I feel like no one is like, feet are okay.
I feel like I'm like feet are okay.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm just like, I'm not like.
You're not grossed out.
Disgusted, like, but I'm also not
when you see you're at jiu-jitsu and you see these guys with their nasty feet, you're not like, you're like, eh.
No, I'm so habituated, like,
to all the smells. Yeah. Maybe that's why your sense of smell is like not strong, because you're like habituated to just like stink for like years because he's wrestling and like, you know, that could possibly be it.
I don't know.
You like don't smell it. What do you think, Asher? Asher's like, I smell all the things. Anyway.
Yeah.
This week has been definitely an interesting one for us. Obviously Squid Game excitement, obviously baby excitement. Zach and I have been going through me dealing with a lot of round ligament pain. And I kind of was like telling him earlier how like I thought I'd be like flowing and like like being able to get truly back to my exercise routine at this point, or at least like a modified routine. And I was so sick during the first couple of months, and then I was like better, and then I was like getting back and getting ready, and then I got like hit by this pain, and it's been crazy. And like a lot of times people talk about like the women and their experience through pregnancy, and I think that's obviously so important. They're the ones going through growing the child and experiencing all the physical sensations, but I think it's also important to get like the father's experience too. Like you still have emotions through this, and you still have, you know, your own worries and stresses and anxieties. So I want to talk to you about how it's been this last week, because we've talked a lot about how it's been for me.
Yeah. It's a lot. I think that, yeah, definitely like your normal aches and gripes. Like I feel like I can't really or shouldn't express them, because it's just like what you're going through is so much more. You know what I mean? So like if I have like a bad headache, I'm like, okay, but Bliss is in like significantly more pain.
Yeah, but it's still okay to have pain.
I know.
And tell me. I'm not going to get mad.
Yeah. So that's definitely like a thing for sure. I would say that I just worry, you know, we've been talking with the doula. We've been on our doula search. And I think just getting you through everything worries me. And when you know, we had a kind of a scare this morning, or not this morning, yet last morning. It's
one of the mornings all the days have been running in.
Yesterday. This is like a new challenge. You know, we started out with you dealing with morning sickness and nausea. All day sickness. Yeah.
All day long. All night long.
And then we progressed, and now we're at round ligament pain, which just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I just didn't really like know about it. Like I obviously expected there to be discomfort while your body's shifting so much, but I don't know. It just really like shook me, and it's been really bad for days. And they're like, oh, it's normal. You're like, how is this normal?
Yeah.
But it is. And it's like, I just continue to be like impressed by mothers and people who give birth. It is challenging. And motherhood, of course, and parenthood is a different challenge, of course, in its own way. But yeah, it's definitely something I appreciate more. And I was like wondering if like I had a baby when I was like 22 or 21, like would I be experiencing this? You know, it's interesting to think about that.
What does it feel like?
A stabbing knife in my side.
It feels like a stabbing knife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Stabbing pain. Like shooting, stabbing pain.
And how long does it last?
I mean, there's kind of like a constant ache that I've been having over the last days, which is one of the reasons why I requested that we go to the emergency room, because it like got different and worse in a way.
Yeah.
Because it spread all over. What was your question again?
I was just asking how long it lasts.
Oh, the shooting pain, it'll last seconds. But if I'm like my leg is extended, or if I'm in a position that's like straining it, it'll just last the whole time until I change the position or put it in a more comfortable position.
Yeah. And so I know that's been affecting your sleep. You haven't been getting as much sleep.
Yeah. Any other thoughts from you, though, from like, you know, I really want to make sure that you're feeling heard, and I want you to continue to like be open with that with me.
Yeah, so I think the thing that just scares me is when we have these things is that I think both of our minds go to the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
That there's some kind of complication, and
yeah,
it's just scary because we're so far along now at this point.
Yeah. It would be pretty devastating for something to happen.
Yeah, I don't even like talking about it.
Hearing the baby's heartbeat is like the most comforting, beautiful thing to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or how do you feel when you hear it? I'm just like, thank God. It's beating.
Well, when I feel it kick, it's pretty surreal because it's progressively, the kicks are getting stronger and stronger, and they're getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I know, right? It's crazy.
So I think, yeah, we don't know if it's going to be a boy or if it's going to be a girl yet.
Yeah, I'm so excited. What's like something within like the first, like, do you have like a vision in your head? Like, we're going to do like an anatomy scan, like another ultrasound soon. Do you have a vision in your head of like how that's going to go or what you're going to see? Because I feel like every time we see it on an ultrasound, it just like is so bigger, much bigger, and it's moving more, and it's different looking, and looks more and more like a baby and less like a little squid.
So what are you asking?
I'm asking, like, do you have any expectations about like seeing the baby, like on the ultrasound, or even like when it's born? Like, what can you like fathom what that's like? Do you have any expectations or ideas of how that's going to go? I hear it's a pretty intense moment.
So I was present when my little sister was born.
Me too.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like it'll be something like that, but different.
What was that feeling like for you?
It was cool. I still remember her holding my little pinky on the way back from the hospital. Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what's so sweet is I have a pinky story too. Right after Tatsi was born, they put him on the scale and they wipe him down. I walked over and I put my pinky in her hand and she squeezed it. That's cute that we both have a newborn pinky story. I'm sure there's a lot of pinky stories out there, but that's sweet. How was your experience seeing your sister born? Like, did you see her fully come out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you really like what? Because you were like 9. How old were you?
I was in 3rd grade.
So you were 9.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Were you like confused? Did your mom kind of talk to you? Like,
it's one of those things. It was one of those things where no, there wasn't any of that conversation. I didn't really internalize it, but it's one of those things that's after the fact kind of awkward to think about.
we all came out of our mom's vagina. We've all seen them, but
or
if it was a C-section, of course, or if you were adopted, of course, but we all were in a vagina at some point.
I also think that that's a cultural thing too, where we have created these barriers of like what's normal and what's not normal, because several thousand years ago that would have been perfectly normal.
Oh yeah, like the parents would have sex with the kids like right next to them.
What is that? Normal?
Everyone would like live in a little hut, or like little area together. Yeah, it was normal, honey.
Was that like they didn't like be like, hey?
The kids were like sleeping. They sleep right through it.
I feel like
we kick them out of the hut in like a cold, freezing night. No.
I feel like I'd be like, okay, let's go behind the tree over there.
But that's also a cultural thing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That one's a bit much. Have you? Did you ever hear your parents having sex?
No, thankfully, but I've heard both of my siblings, and I've honestly wanted to pull my ears out. Like, every time I, like, even think about it, I'm, like, horrifically disgusted. And I love my siblings, and I'm so sorry for outing you. But, yes. And yuck.
Who was it we were talking? Oh, we were talking with your friend.
Yeah, about breastfeeding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's so peculiar to me that that's such a trigger for so many people.
Yeah. I think yes, it can be this sexual thing, but its utmost purpose is actually for feeding the baby. It's just weird that there should be shame, and often the uncomfortable person wants the mother to go away rather than removing themselves. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, like you can remove yourself. Like I definitely plan to to breastfeed if I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. And I don't plan on like hiding away. Like, obviously I'm not going to like rock around to the store topless, but like, I'm not going to, if my baby is hungry, I'm going to feed my baby. I'm not going to worry about making some random person comfortable.
Well, and just the other side of it about just normalizing breastfeeding in public. I mean, it's such a natural part of what it means to be human, right? It's just a natural part of growing a child. And I think it just shows how disconnected we can become from our own biological nature. When it's
so interesting, because other animals, it's not even domesticated animals like Asher and Blythe. Like they're still their nature, their animalistic nature.
Yeah,
is still very key to them. Asher will lick himself. Blythe will lick herself. They will do their animal things, you know, and they're not taking on these societal expectations or pressures. Human intelligence level obviously allows us to be more flexible with those things, but it's definitely odd in a way, truly, when you really think about it from that perspective, that we have developed certain things that are the most natural things in the world to be odd or different or wrong or shameful. Like sex, like breastfeeding.
Man, you want to talk about our move and like how meaningful that was? And we just moved. Yeah, I unpacked 5 garages, probably 6 actually, 6 total to get us moved completely, like loaded.
I want to break Bliss.
Loaded.
It's time to get back at it.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying like that actually was incredibly satisfying. So one of our movers that we had, it was a friend of mine, he got injured while we were moving, and or not while, before, like the day of, and so he was kind of limited in what he could do.
He wasn't injured while he was moving us. He was injured previous to coming to help us. Yeah.
And while we were moving, I kind of ended up having to move some very, very heavy objects
by yourself. I know, and he really tried. I was like, I don't even know if he should still be here right now.
He did everything. It was awesome. That bed, oh man. He did help me carry that bed in there before you and I met.
Moment.
Yeah, and then he helped me carry it out as best as he could.
It feels right to be here. I don't feel any different living in the suburbs than I do in the city, to be completely honest. But I've also been kind of like bedridden a little bit and like not feeling great. So maybe it'll feel different, but I'm really proud of us for getting to this point, and I'm proud of our home, and I'm really excited about the animals, and they seem happier.
It's definitely pretty surreal, going from living in our 1-bedroom apartment to this like very, very nice townhome slash, what would you call it?
Just a house. It's a single family home.
What's the distinguishing? So a townhome would be like there's multiple multifamily.
It's like 3 levels, and it's like small. A townhome is like a small house. This is considered a straight up home.
Yeah, I kind of like the
house.
Yeah, I like the townhome. I like a townhome vibe too.
Have you lived in one before?
No.
I prefer a home vibe.
Well, yeah. Actually, I think I have lived in it. Yeah, it's kind of.
Townhomes tend to be small. It's still nice.
We were on the fence. We almost went with a townhome.
And I was like, no, I want to wait till we see this one. And it's just so beautiful here. And Asher, the townhome, Asher would not have had a backyard. And he has a backyard here, which has been my dream for him. And the animals have so much more space to like run around and be free, and it's nice.
Yeah. I guess, should I tell the bed story? I feel like
I'm sick of the bed story. I've heard it 50 times. But that's part of marriage. I think I'll tell the bed story next time.
You tell the bed story now. You know it so well.
There was a bed that Zach wanted, floating bed. All the options online didn't quite cut it. So he had this man made this bed with him. This man was in the military and very much was cared about intense carpentry and very heavy duty materials. So made this extremely heavy bed for him. He drove down and picked up this extremely heavy bed. Tried to get into the apartment, wouldn't fit. He had to hire someone off TaskRabbit to help him disassemble the bed and then move it into the apartment and then reassemble it. And it took them 2 days to do it because it was so incredibly difficult. It wasn't like one of those quick pop-up slide and goes, drill here, drill there. It was like very, very complicated bed, and also extremely heavy. But he got to put lights under it. It was a really cool bed. It's a cool floating bed. And it was time to move. He actually found that same guy to come and help him disassemble the bed. And it was another full circle moment for Zachary Wojtowski in his bed. That's true.
All right. So critical detail that you got to know here is that when I got this bed, there was like a week. So like a week before I was going on Love is Blind. And so I just have this giant wooden bed sitting in the middle of my living room, and I have no idea how I'm going to fit it into my bedroom. And that's why I had to hire the guy, and it took us so long to take that thing apart. So the most nightmarish part of our move was definitely trying to figure out how we were going to get that bed out. But the guy on TaskRabbit, Jesse, you are a lifesaver.
Shout out, Jesse.
Yeah, because we got it in there and we got it out. Jesse, you rock. Say hi, Bliss.
Hi, Bliss.
We're at the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Renting a U-Haul. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go take all of our stuff home.
Yep.
Jesse, you remember this? You remember doing this?
I do. Moving that headboard in. A bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
Way back here. Keep coming. I'm good. I'm gonna set it down for a bit. Keep going, keep going.
Bliss, you recording this?
Clear,
Yeah,
clear.
babe.
Oh, we
Oh my
good.
God, I can't believe we did it, Jesse.
You did it.
Alright.
Hallelujah. Asher, get over here.
Okay. Whew. Here we go.
Yeah, swing it.
All right.
Surprising.
This is true friendship. Throwing rocks. How many rocks are in there, do you think? 200?
No, more than that. I think probably 500 rocks.
Wow.
No way, there's gonna be more than that. It's got over 1,000, I think.
Hey, yo, what's up, Blinders? It's your boy Zach. I just got done over here in my new house. It's all good. I'm not gonna start live until I get 5,000 people over here in the live.
You don't even need to talk. Juan can do it all for you.
Dude, okay, so I got one over here. He's got a bum back, and we got all this moved in here, and there's one item remaining.
Or even put it on before you go into the car.
The chest
Yeah, I don't know if you
of doom.
No, I
We got the chest of doom left. That's it. This thing was, this is like 200 pounds. This bed frame is insane. Now we just have the chest of doom left. That's it.
Is the chest like an antique, right? It's like not the things that are in it that's heavy.
Yeah, dude, it's from like the 1940s.
It's
Oh
like
my
a legit
God.
like chest. How do
Yeah.
people move back then? We didn't have all this technology. What
I mean,
Horse and
getting a living
carriage?
crew was probably like 25 cents.
the- yeah, but people probably made 25 cents a week back then. It's gonna stay there. We're gonna leave it here when we move. Someone can inherit it.
What were your thoughts when we finally got out of downtown Seattle and into the burbs?
I think I've been ready for it for a while. The difference between kind of like our experiences, I think is important here because like I lived in the city for like 12 years and I experienced the city life and things going on and going out and having fun and there's being all these options to go do things and being in the thick of it. And I had been ready to calm down a bit and to move to a safer location. And I feel safer here for sure, like 100% safer. and it's quieter. I'm not hearing dumpster chops wake me up every morning. Very lovely. And I think it's just, I just feel freer, like better, because it was rough living in a 1-bedroom for that long. We didn't have space. It was just so cluttered. I feel like I had anxiety of even like trying to clean it was so hard to me because it was like so much stuff. Like there just wasn't space. And I just feel good. I feel happy and free. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like it was like a new chapter in our story. I feel like moving to Seattle and setting up that apartment was like a stage in my life. It was a big transition, and I had to learn about interior decorating because I had moved there on like a month before the show. And
but it's cool that you even like thought to like research that. Most guys would have been like, eh.
Yeah, I feel like whatever I end up doing, I end up kind of deep diving into it and trying to learn as much about it as I can. So, but it was funny when I started learning about like interior decorating, I started talking to like my sister and my grandma, and I realized there was this whole world that I had spent 30 years not even knowing that existed. This whole different language. I was like, oh yeah, the boho. And my grandma's like, yeah, I really like boho. And I was like, what? It's more of that really goes more with a modern look. And and I started learning all these little aesthetic rules that interior decorators and designers operate on to really create a visual and emotional effect on the person who dwells within that area. But big eye opener for me, I think, trying to learn how to make, because before that, I mean, it was like my I didn't have a couch for like a year in my first apartment, and then Juan, when we lived together, he made me get a couch. He's like, we're getting a couch. It's like, we could use the living room for like all kinds of activities. Yeah, we could work out here. We could turn it into a gym. He's like, we're not going to turn our living room into a gym.
Thank goodness someone had some good
Look,
sense.
I'm pragmatic, okay? Aesthetics are not usually the first thing I think about.
It's not even all like necessarily about aesthetics. Like you said, like it has an emotional impact on the person. And I think like I was really ready to move because it was having an impact on me. But I really think that was our first place we lived in together. Well, second place besides the townhome inn that we stated on the show, but like it'll always be meaningful to me.
Yeah. So tomorrow we have our 20-week ultrasound, and that is incredibly important because we are going to find out if our child has any abnormalities or health issues that we don't know about. So yeah, this is the big one, and we also don't know the gender of our child.
Oh my God, we're like, we cannot have the technician tell us what the gender is. I'll die, I'll cry, I'll scream, probably cause a scene if that's how we find out, because my brother is so sweet and planned a gender reveal for us next month.
I mean, it's gonna be elaborate what he's got planned. I think he's got like a marching band that's going to show up, an elephant, maybe pink, maybe blue. We don't know.
So how do you feel about tomorrow? I feel like there's been so much going on and I've been in so much pain that I've kind of been distracted from it a little bit. Like I kind of haven't gotten super scared about it yet because there's so much going on and I'm so uncomfortable. But I am nervous and I really just want everything to be okay.
I feel like everything's going to be okay, but it's really scary.
Yeah, we just don't know. That's the thing. It's like when you don't know what you don't know. So.
But we're going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, you ready to watch some Squid Games, baby?
Yeah, peace out, Pete.
All right. I'm really stoked to find out what happens in these next episodes.
Zack, Bliss, Asher, and Blythe Goitowski signing off.
It's not perfect, but whatever.
Yeah.
That would be a good name, actually.